I'm Susan, I'm your intuitive, and this is your Taurus new moon reading. So this is for all signs. Every single sign we're going to go through and pull a card and talk about the house that the new moon is going to be in on 4/27 Eastern time. So it depends on where you are. It's going to be in the 7th degree, a Libra degree. So emphasis on Venus, emphasis on balance in any areas, or rebalancing in any of these areas of your life. First, we're going to start with you, Aries. You can check out all the timestamps below. Let's get started. Aries, this new moon is going to be in your 2nd house, and right away we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is actually a Taurus card, interestingly enough, as we are here in Taurus season. This card is earthly spiritual one. This card, you are going to have Venus finally enter your sign at the end of the month as well. So this Taurus new moon wants to speak through you, speak to you in a very spiritual way that, like Taurian energy, is also the material. It's the sensory. It's all the senses, the tastes, the abundance of it all. And that is what you may be reminded of around the time of this new moon. So a few days before, a few days after, this is a few days before, you may start to get really in touch with this side of yourself that also may want to and feel inclined to speak about it. Taurus rules the neck and the throat, ruled by Venus. Also rules in other things, but we'll keep it simple for you. So speaking up, you may feel inclined to speak in a way that is a little more sensual, but it's clarifying where you're at right now. That by being yourself, showing up with this energy, you are clarifying and making it known where you're at this moment. And it's actually quite emotional, mature of you, and can give you a lot of control over the 2nd house area of your life. I'm going to use these 3 cards as well. The masculine and feminine side of you, the feminine side that wants to create, and the masculine side that wants to feel safe to create. This could also be within your relationship as well, but the 2nd house is self-worth, skills, talents, and also your material well-being, interestingly enough. So in how you approach that, and by finding maybe spiritual guidance or a version of belief or faith, you may find it around this new moon or be asking for it more. You may find that you are drawn towards this in association with your material. This also might be a time where you finally settle into this energy and you can move forward in a way that is more confident. What this is going to help you do is become more confident in your abilities, which gives you more room to be vulnerable. And then, the reading could really go on, honestly. We're going to get right into the Taurus readings too after this, so you can check that out. Yours will be coming out soon. But this energy, this is about balancing you out. That's what this may provide for you. So you may find yourself in the community or on your own, finding it in your own life individually, so that you can access the creativity and the energy that you've been looking to access for any ideas, any ways of sharing what you're great at, your resources, and to build upon that, which is very earth energy as well. So Aries, this looks like it's grounded, it's passionate, there's plan, but this is about like the Hierophant being like stopping you in your tracks of like, before Venus gets on this ride too, let's make some things clear. Let's establish some groundwork. Let's find balance, and that will reveal itself to you in one way or another. Like where you feel imbalanced may not be known to you consciously, but it becomes that for you. So I just need to fix something because it's bothering me. Okay. Taurus, this is your full moon or new moon. Taurus, this is your energy. And with Venus gone direct, you had to make decisions. You had to see things very clearly in ways in which you probably weren't. This is your first house, identity, vitality. There's quite a few cards out here. And then we have Scorpio, your opposition, out here as well. So we're going to use these cards. We're going to use all of them. All of them. Okay. There have been areas in your life where you feel content, where you feel established or emotionally secure. And Mars is here to help you through that. Anywhere you're not feeling confident, Mars in Leo is going to help you understand where this emotional security is coming from. And Mercury in Aries in your 12th house is revealing things to you, because some of you Tauruses might have the moon in your 12th house, all depending on Taurus rising, where your chart is and what it looks like. And what's being loud and clear right now is that anything you have on your table is useful. It just matters the amount of confidence that you have behind it and the commitment to that confidence. Pluto is in your 12th house or 10th house of role, and it's going to be transforming your roles in your career and whatever it is that you're mastering at this time. It may be time to share more. It may be on this day that you share more, or you get to be received well, and you just clarifying a whole new chapter. For some of you, that may relate to me. You're closing a huge chapter that you didn't know had so many layers to it. A huge pattern. There's a freedom here. There's a full circle, because this is that wreath that shows up it's on his head. And on the wand, shows up in the World card. It's like you may have been working hard behind the scenes, and you still will be with all the Aries in your 12th house. But now there's a being seen, there's like just a defining moment. Because this 9 of Cups, there was some deception there. And it was deception from self. When we experience externally, there is a lot of truth to what's going on in your inner world. So if you've had any insecurities that had layers, low self-worth, this is your identity, vitality. If this played on your energetic level and what you were able to handle, you're about to get a tune-up in the life force department because your roles are changing, and it's not without the dedication and the ability to look and shift and allow whatever's coming through to release. Whatever's coming up to release, so that whatever's coming through you can commit to and move forward with. We have the Lion here. There's that Mars energy I was talking about, and I didn't even notice until now. This confidence paired with this emotional security can bring so much to you the more that you put energy into this transformation. Mercury wants to bring you a lot of information, and you have to allow yourself that space. So from the 9 of Cups to the 2 of Cups, I know it's a loss of a lot of cups. However, you're more excited about these 2 cups than you were about any of those 9 cups, whatever accolades it brought you. It just doesn't matter anymore, because now you get to free yourself and be yourself. 10th house, Aquarius, that is all about becoming more authentic in your life, and you might as well get on a roll with it, because it's not going to stop. Yeah. 7th house for some of you. Also Pluto. This transformation, this change. Yes, there is a lot to it, and it starts, like this new moon really starts this new change, this new vitality energy. But as you keep moving, as you do the bull and the cow, when we move forward, it's a stretch. And I talk about this with you because you're just the most, it's just most clear, like watch and learn, says Taurus. Like you know, but if you watch too long, you might get bored, because to you, I'm moving so slow, but to me, I'm actually moving quickly and I'm being present. So your presence is required, and you just may want to share. Yeah, that's really it. You just may want to share. And for yourself and be yourself. You may just be seen and given the stage, and you just want to take it. Declaring your stance. All right. We'll talk more in your reading. It's coming up. Check that out. Your reading will be out right after this. Day of or day after. I'm not sure yet. Okay. Gemini, 12th house. For most of you, this new moon will be in your 12th house. I'm not going to say any more until the cards come out, because the cards are really clear. All right, Gemini. Ooh. Quite a few cards for you as well. We have Strength, the Fool, the 8 of Cups, and the 8 of Pentacles. So 8s. This week happens to be an 8 too, so love and money may be particularly important. What else is particularly important is that Mars is also showing up for you, Mars and Leo. Maybe I should have just did a reading about that. Maybe I will. Mars and Leo would be in your 3rd house, so communication may be important, but mostly this new moon is having you release anywhere in your life that you've chosen strength over compassion for yourself. Strength. What was that version of strength that was given to you unconsciously? The bravery that this requires, the compassion for self, the bravery that this requires to move forward and move on from whatever it is that you are getting information about, in terms of how you've treated yourself and how you've treated your ideas or your ability to confidently move in any direction. Now, this may not have stopped you, maybe on that path, right? But if it has stopped you, either way, if it has stopped you and you're on that path, but you're still finding yourself here, this is the perfect time. Maybe the rebalance is to move on, to realize that you may be going through emotional patterns for a reason, because it's making you better at whatever it is that you add value to. And sometimes adding value means scrapping what you've put energy into in order to see things clearer, to start from the ground up. I feel the need to tell you that we're in a Saturn, sorry, there's just this piece of hair that's, I know you know, this piece of hair. Anyway, there's a Saturn conjunction with the true node in Pisces, and it does not happen many times in our lifetime. And I'm saying that because I don't exactly know the amount of time off the top of my head at the moment. I did not write it down. And for Gemini risings, this would be in your 10th house of your career and your public role. You may just be done working the way you have been. Your reading is really interesting though, so check it out for April. That's on the channel. So you may have to really give yourself time and compassion to do. This is not being impulsive anymore. This Fool knows that this is the moment where you can't work the same. You may hear a Leo or an Aries, but I do think this is Mercury and Aries giving you a lot of information from your 12th house. And it's just changing your approach in a way that you're actually acting on. That's how you know it's for you. There may be a Leo that is really helpful, and maybe there may even be an Aries, but more, the bigger thing is that it's in the area of your life that does come out through work. So this, I do think, is heavy on the career, even though it's in your 12th house. It may be showing up in health or work, and you have to allow yourself to go back to a certain way of being for the next 2 weeks during this conjunction, so that you can do the hard work that will last a long time. And we're at this period that if you haven't been listening for the past few years and you want to listen now, that is the brave thing to do. These are too fiery and big-hearted. You may feel this you may wake up one day and just feel like compulsive release. So that your heart, you know, if your heart is balanced, if your mind is balanced, and the proper support that you need. This is an eclipse moment. I think we talked, I'm just having deja vu, which in the Schumann resonance, if you don't know about it, look it up. It's amazing. That's kind of what we're entering. The hard work is toward yourself and the decisions you decide to make based off of instant gratification or longevity and prosperity. Because Jupiter is still in your sign and luck is earned. This new moon will reveal to you so much, but so simply put, that you'll continue to learn as you move forward. So yeah, we're going to just stop there now, Gemini, because there's a lot going on. That 12th house is the hidden realm. It's spirituality, it's sorrow, it's loss, it's self-sabotage, and how all of that goes together. So something to believe in more than anything else right now is yourself, I would say. Okay? Cancer. Cancer risings, this is in your 11th house of community and good fortune, your environment, and your visions. I need some water. I need to keep myself well hydrated. All right, so what is going on for Cancer risings during this Taurus new moon with a Libra degree? Got a cardinal degree, highly Venusian. Ooh. All right, Cancer. What are you transforming right now? What's this rebirth? What do you have to acknowledge in order for... So we all have to acknowledge something. In order for something to change, right? We have to acknowledge, we have to grieve. Maybe you are grieving. Maybe for some of you, you're moving on from a community, or you did already took that leap and it's now just hitting you. And what a perfect time during a beautiful full moon or new moon. I keep saying full moon, but the Scorpio full moon will be coming up. So maybe in 2 weeks, this cycle is going to honor your masculine worth. Taurus is the material. And maybe it comes full circle of like, whatever you're able to acknowledge is very helpful to wherever you haven't been able to own that worth, that masculine part of you. This moment of where you find clarity through this change, this death. And what it has taught you, what this environment, what this community has really taught you. Maybe you know it's time to move on and you're having like this is so Cancerian means Sagittarius, is like you're so nostalgic for it already. And if there's a Scorpio in your life, they show up strongly to help you through this. It was this way, sorry. They show up strongly to help you through this. They provide a safety that you can learn to provide for yourself. Or you might have Scorpio placements. But either way, it's just a time where you feel the change. You feel the spring moving through the ground. You feel the temperature in the air. You just know. You just know. You know that it's time. You know when it's time to change, when it's time to move on. And you may be getting the exact signs that you need in order to move forward. And it takes this vulnerability of you to take a look at whatever it is that does need to change. Because if you're a part of a community and you're moving on, or they're moving on, or there is a death in the community and your larger vicinity of people in your life, no matter how close they are to you specifically, It changes the way you look at things. It's this final, we each have this moment. It just shows up differently, where you have this final moment where you sit with like this understanding of like, I was operating like this, but now I have no choice but to operate like this. I have no choice. And it's like not a bad thing, but it's, you know how strong this part of your life needs you to be, because it's preparing you for Jupiter. Just saying. Because there's a contraction before expansion, and that's literally what this is. Okay. Cancer risings. I feel that feeling in the heart when you know something's coming to an end, and how you know you're gonna mold and be just fine, but you really feel it in the moment. Feel it out. Let yourself feel it. Have a romantic day. If you don't have whether you have a partner or not, have a romantic day with yourself. Celebrate being alive. You know, whatever that looks like to you. That could look like a nice little picnic or a walk in, you know, nature. That could be going to your favorite spot. That could be like more lively, but romantic to you is like a book around your favorite part, or writing or drawing, whatever it is. Finding some romance for yourself. And oddly enough, across from the 5th house is the romantic sector. So if you can. All right, Leo, 10th house, career, role, authority, and mastery. This Taurus new moon is shining a light on. Leo risings. Ooh, ooh. Spicy. Spicy, Leo. All my plants. They're growing so good. Okay. All right. You may have to address some people talking about some things. Wow. If you're planning on going anywhere this weekend, or if you're working, whatever you're doing, you may need to address. It's like you don't want to, and you know you don't have to, but you have to. You have to address. Some of you might have to address rumors. Others of you are addressing yourself in a way that is, you're secure with your femininity, and there's been some control over it, and you're realizing that you don't have control over, but what you do have control over is, if I'm going to be in this environment, if this is who I'm going to be, I must say something. Mars is in your sign. Taurus is in your 10th house. You're the moon anyway. Look at that. Some of you are looking at this situation and you're saying, I'm not going to say anything. These people come off as, you know, not as mature as you, not worthy of your response. And if you choose not to say anything, you have a huge realization about wealth and prosperity and abundance. You have a huge realization, or it may be even a very prosperous weekend. Or you have this feeling, and you've added so much value that you almost can see what this will bring you. For some of you have opportunities that are coming your way for a career change, but you may want something different. You may be passing up some things because of the environment of this role. What you're mastering is the art of when to say and when not to say. Because, you know, there are a few signs that like the tea. We know you like to have the tea, and so does Taurus like to have the tea. But you're realizing that what you can control right now is your voice. And if people want to talk about you, whatever. In the beginning, it's like, say something if you want to say something. But then you take a second look and you're like, do I need to? Because we have the bottom, we have the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. And you can feel your role shift from who you once operated as and as to who you operate as now. And that's what the new moon provides to you. That adding that kind of value to your connection and integrity is only going to benefit you in the long run. There is Saturn conjuncting the North Node at this time. The long run and the work you put in for 2 weeks is really important. And for you, it's about controlling your temper or discipline and finding an outlet where you may be overcompensating here. That's why it's showing up. It's testing you. Where's the other outlet? Maybe you have it. Maybe it hasn't come to you, or maybe it hasn't sunken in yet, but it will. So trust that. And also listen to the information you're hearing. What is it saying about you? Maybe you're sitting with it and all of a sudden you have this realization of how all that noise was just about how powerful you really are and what you're capable of and how abundant you really are in this life. Which gives you a clear direction with your ideas or with the next role or whatever it is that you're mastering. But to me, it's the mastery of being the center of attention or getting attention, receiving attention. For some of you, you are receiving. So the three of Cups can also be you're receiving a lot of attention. But it's like you don't really care about the people that it's coming from enough to really acknowledge it. And they might get kind of butthurt because you're not acknowledging it too much. And you could humor people if you wanted to, but you're just trusting whatever is naturally and authentically coming out of you at this time. And that's how it's done, Leo. That is how it's done. You're so graceful. Miss Congeniality. All right, Virgo, 9th house. This new moon is in your house of travel, education, religion, philosophy, wisdom. We have another Queen of Wands. Oh my God, Mars is just taking over. The planet of love and war, fighting for attention. Control. Control's been coming up a lot. Control. What can you control? Your attitude, your catitude, your view. Maybe you have a little more spice on your view. Maybe you feel more powerful and like maybe you're starting to create something where you have maybe a job or you have a career, and yet you want something to look forward to. Maybe you decide to take a class or try something new or travel, right? Or you're publishing, right? This is also the house of publishing. I forgot to say that. So maybe you're creating a book or you're creating something that brings and adds value to you and to your life and transforms your idea of comfort and material, which is Taurus. You're now seeing, that shadow version that you have like plenty, right? You may have plenty, you may have an abundance, but you're looking down and you're just like, I've changed. I want to add to my life in a way that, and maybe you already are. So now it's like getting a little bit more serious, a little more disciplined. We have Libra at the bottom. We have the moon in a Libra degree. We have this North Node conjuncting Saturn, doing the hard work. For you, it's getting out of your own way and not allowing your need to know why and to truly trust this intuition in your body that wants to go for it. You're transforming anywhere you feel comfort in what the shadow has been in order to move forward on something. Some people can sit and say, well, I should be grateful for what I have. And even though I have these ideas, well, you're transforming that. You're transforming your belief in yourself. You may have come across through travel, through education, through philosophy or religion, through some avenue. It could even be work for some of you. Through some avenue, you've life experience where you've gained wisdom to whatever extent, to whatever age you're at, that has actually transformed your way of thinking about what comfort and being satisfied or content is. And under this full moon, you get to a place, or new moon, I keep saying that, in the darkness of the new moon, you get to a place where you can see really clearly how it's actually holding you back. And it's, of course, amazing. Be grateful for what you have, but notice what you actually want to move on and what's actually stopping you. That could just be emotion. Separating emotion from value. Earth signs, well, I put so much time and energy, yes. it's not going to be wasted. The next venture, you're just going to take all of that wisdom into whatever you're creating, publishing, believing, adding to your life. And something for some of you just clicks. It resets, it rebalances your dreams and your ability to reach them. And through the next 2 weeks until the Scorpio full moon, you get a chance to shift what you couldn't before in the past, I don't know, many years. You have this urge, this compulsion to move forward. Mars is giving you some activity as well in the 12th house. And it feels like it's coming out of nowhere. It's just laid dormant because it's going to cause healing for you, Virgo. And why not? The eclipses they're here. Even though you're maybe be a beginner at something, it won't feel that way. And even if it does, it feels great to almost not want to know or not need to know or not be the person that needs to know or always asking why. There might be a calmness that washes over your brain. You may have a deep connection from what was hindering this process of moving forward. And you may feel changes in your feet, in your muscular system. You may feel more relaxed or more fluid, able to build with more ease, letting go as you move forward. All right, Virgo. Libra, 8th house. 8th house of death, of deep healing, other people's resources, employers, investments. Yeah. You're like, I just wanna do things. I just wanna feel free. I just wanna feel passion. Do it. Feel it. Feel the passion. Be free. Fellow Venus sign, right? Fellow Venus sign. There may be a surge of energy. Ooh. This Leo and Mars and this Scorpio full moon will not leave us alone. So very important this month. Whatever you do, make sure you're enjoying it, Libra. That's what's going to transform it. If you're mad with passion, it's not going to feel the same just right now. Recalibrating means, yes, the fire, but much the enjoyment. This wants to recalibrate that feeling for you and anything that you choose to do. Mars is in your, this is Libra risings for, in your 11th house. So you feel compelled in whatever community, maybe you want to enter a community and you have this urge and this intuition to create something. You get brought into a community or you go to one and you just shine and they like your vibe and you're enjoying yourself, and now you are providing something. Open-hearted, happy. This could be about your children. Something good is happening with them. And that just brings you to a very happy place that transforms wherever you've been feeling stuck and hurt. You may have quite the transformation at this time, especially with your mental health, and how that's either taken or added to your value. This is going to deeply heal so much for you. As the season continues, you're going to feel like you're coming out of, for some of you, a time of grief, a time where you didn't feel this much enjoyment in a long time. Now, this is for all three of you, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You finally feel like you can act on the things without whatever has been holding you down, stopping you. You feel it as you move through it, and you feel it as you move through it, and you're valuing yourself differently. And this gives you this different feeling in your heart. Maybe you're able to stand up a bit straighter. Maybe your muscles feel a little less tense. Maybe you feel better in your body and you're releasing with all of this energy. My only advice would be, don't be around anyone who will be just a Debbie Downer, or some of you feel strong enough where it doesn't even matter. I feel like I can do anything or be near anyone right now because I feel amazing. Feel it regardless. That shows strength, a lot of strength in you to feel how you want to feel and be free without too much over-consideration, overly weighing it out, Libra. No. I mean, do what you want. But there's some freedom in this weekend, so enjoy it. Enjoy the romance. Enjoy the pleasures. Enjoy your children. Enjoy feeling like a child, whatever it is. Scorpio, 7th house. This new moon is in your 7th house of one-on-one commitments, your one-on-one clients if you have them, your intimate relationships. So I would focus here, I feel, or even legal matters, but I feel a focus of love with the Libra degree. And for most people are on wherever you are in the world, being on the Sunday, all depending on your lifestyle. Ooh. You may not have noticed that there is a lack of ease and a little bit of tension, Scorpio risings, in your love life around money. But you don't know it until you're able to see that something's been blocking your ability to experience more and to envision more for your life and for the both of you. For some of you, you may start, the reason why you can't envision it because you might be with not the right person. If you are with someone, you're really starting to look and take into account of what it looks like to be partnered with this person, and loving them enough to know what's the next best step for you and to vocalize it, of course. But you seem like you need to process some things before you move forward. Regardless if you're single or together, you're finding, even if you stay with someone, you're finding your independence. That might be the talk. Is like you need more independence in the way you value yourself or put yourself out there, maybe at your job, whatever it is. In that sort of fashion, it will reveal itself to you. Trust that the perfect time will come up to talk about it. This would be a great time. Libra degree, Taurus new moon, 7th degree. So this might be about, where you see yourself living together, or, the kind of money you're looking to make, just, getting down to the connection, but also having some play, having some togetherness to add value to your life. You may realize that there is a dream that you have, and it didn't feel real until now that you can have it. And now you feel like, oh, I can do this. Maybe for some of you, the relationship that you're in or that you're going to be entering or you've entered already reveals to you how capable you are. It's, but anywhere that you felt insecure or insecure about your material wealth or whatever, or even what you bring to the table, the people that you begin to meet now, you realize the integrity, the value, the material growth, and you can see it for yourself. What does that bring? It brings grievance. Of course it brings grievance, Scorpio. Maybe you're part of long-term, if this is for those of you that are been passed down wealth generation or passed down a legacy of some sort or company, you're looking to do things in your own way or go out on your own and not take on that traditional burden. To you, it feels like a burden. To others, it may feel like a dream, right? So it's grieving your decisions as well. interestingly enough. But Scorpio, I feel like this is just a very refreshing new moon for you. Again, if there is, you know, and again, I was saying, like, you may have to break up with someone. You may, but it doesn't feel like it's something that wasn't coming or overly devastating. It's just on your end, you might feel a little bad, but don't stay with anyone if you feel bad for them. You may be relieving them as well. And what I love about human design is, like, and this is not very simple in a relationship, but even just in the rooms that you're in or the places that you're invited to, before deciding anything, depending on how you respond and if you've looked into your human design at all, if you don't really want to be somewhere, you feel bad, you're not actually adding the right value to the experience, and you might actually be taking away from the experience. And I just think that's really interesting in terms of any energy and relational aspects in our life. Apply that to a job, right? Your clients, and if you have clients, your intimate areas. And legal matters with money. For some of you, you may be coming into some money through your partnership. And that gives you, like, all of a sudden you have this dream and you've been thinking about it, but all of a sudden, like, shit starts to come into fruition. Blessings. I pray for, not hope. I pray that you do. I do. All right, Sagittarius. Oh, well, you want to talk. That's nice. I like that. Sixth house. Your service, your work, your health, your pets, perhaps. Okay. Again, Leo, just coming out and strong. Mars would be having you move forward on the things that you believe. You may cause a stir. You may cause a stir here, but you gain a lot of insight. You do. About how you've let people celebrate you, if you have. Maybe something that's happening for someone in your life causes you to see your own differently. There could be some noise going on at work that has affected you and your ability to feel supported. It's opened your heart to processing some things from the past that are really important for you to see. It shows you how you've processed before to the way that you're processing now, and how there's a different view based off of how much grace and compassion you can show yourself at this time as other people are showing themselves to you. Sometimes these people are here just to clarify your own view, even as a reader. I either can validate you, or it helps you realize that, it helps you see how clearly your opinion or your stance is by disagreeing with me. And that's what I hope for, right? If this isn't validation, it just makes you realize that you know. That I don't know you, that you know you. If there's a Leo in your life, they may also have some tea to spill to you about. Oh, I have this on the wrong hands. It's so funny. They may have some gossip for you. But this gossip is for this gossip. There's purpose to this gossip. The Hermit says, there's a few things here actually. The Hermit says, this gossip is very insightful. It's helpful for my processing. It actually hits a nerve, perhaps. For others of you, it was just the answer you needed to clarify whatever decision that you've made. For others of you, this is about pulling information out in ways that you no longer care nor need. You feel like, I don't need that kind of validation perhaps anymore. Something around those lines. You may notice that you don't talk as much right now. that this information, for some of you, this information is very impactful and makes you go really internal. But that's where the strength comes in, is like, what is the strength and kind of support that you actually need right now? Who actually has your back and celebrates with you? And who talks shit? And you know, it doesn't mean you have to go cutting people out of your life. It doesn't mean you have to go saying anything. It's just this observation and what you do with the awareness. Oh, hello. Look who's here. Say hello. Cease. Sorry, she's in heat. It's okay, sweetie. Come here. It's okay. She gets a little crazy, so we're going to let her down. All right, Capricorn. 5th house, pleasure, romance, creative energy, and children. This new moon and this month. If you don't want children, be careful. Okay, Capricorn, this weekend, something will reveal itself and be easily taken care of. Something you've been I'm just excited for you. I really hope that, like, and pray, not hope, I pray that you are certain. Kabbalah has changed my life, so I'm bringing it in. Something you're no longer defensive about. There has been a change in the way that you approach responding to yourself or responding to a situation in your romantic department. There's something that you've been maybe overcompensating for, and you needed to address, like, the difference between the time for pleasure and the time for creating, and what make them both go hand in hand but make them different. Cease. She's, hold on. What are you doing? What are you doing? No. No. Yeah. There may be some childlike feeling and experience that just wipes away any frustration or anywhere you've been feeling out of control, and maybe you've needed to feel out of control in order to gain back that sensual, that romantic, that kind experience. And it brings with it a boundary. This sureness, this discipline to pleasure. That this weekend, maybe words can be used lightly. That maybe you invite this energy in and you even start it yourself. You don't wait for anyone else. It's playful banter that heals. It's to be able to experience something that's healing, instead of, like, if you've been fighting or going back and forth about something in your life, it's giving in. Giving into the energy, Capricorn. We're going to keep it short and sweet for you. That's it. Do it. Do it. Aquarius, 4th house. Caregivers, parents, foundations, your emotional security, and ancestry. What's going on in the 4th house and your fellow fixed sign, fellow air sign? Ooh, surrender. Oh my God, that's all your reading was about. Just go watch your reading. Honestly, you appreciate that kind of advice. Just go watch your reading. Surrender. Surrender to this process. Surrender to the mind and what it has to offer. What does it want to share with you? Your problems aren't just yours. They came from somewhere. And your emotional security relies on your ability to process your nervous system. This is a 4 he's making, which is the number of foundations, which is the number of the house that this new moon is in. You may connect deeply with yourself and to your ancestry, to your parents, to whoever cared for you at this time, and surrender to what is and what is not. And it gives you so much to write about, to feel through, to explore. You might want to take a trip. Some of you might, not all of you, but some of you might want to do some of that medicine. For some of you, this is medicine enough. Maybe you bring yourself to water, to the woods, or somewhere where your nervous system can feel and really sink in. Maybe do yoga nidra. Maybe you go somewhere and make it a ritual. This is also Neptune in your 3rd house, and it's communicating to you that this is really important for moving forward. Maybe reimagining what life is like. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yep. Sorry. This is about maybe being around people that care for you deeply so that you're not fighting what you're surrendering to, especially if you have plans like to go somewhere and you decide to just, vibe out with one person that day or a couple people and not like, just conserve your energy a little bit more. It's totally understandable. Totally. You're rebuilding your foundation off surrender. Surrendering control to the process, to your power of you and no one else. Okay, Pisces, 3rd house, communication, extended family, siblings, also whatever that means to you, if that is friends, and short-term travel. Oh, your rituals, your day-to-day life. How you go about life, Pisces. Oh, bravery, freedom, open-heartedness, spontaneity. Maybe you go not impulsive. It's finding that difference. Is it impulsive? Impulsive means you're reacting off of something, an emotional response, and you're doing something impulsive. This is saying surrender to the freedom, to the spontaneity of your communication, to the play, to the lightheartedness. Surrender to the weekend, to the few days. Be brave with yourself and your ability to communicate where you're at, communicate life. Mercury is in your 2nd house of self-worth. You have courage. All of a sudden, you feel so courageous, primed and ready. My little kitty, little dog here, she's in heat, so I do have to just be careful. Careful, baby. Your mind, this is Aries rules the mind too. Your mind, something about the mind gets clearer. So much has been going on in your sign. And now everything's finally moving into Aries, but that's your 2nd house of self-worth and your talents and your skills. So this will only sharpen them. But it's also giving you this courage and this confidence to be brave. Now, if you're acting like a fool, this could be a great time to indulge that, to indulge the fool quality, indulge just like being out here and living, and maybe some of you are traveling. I know Pisces loves to travel, so if you can and have the ability to, and you're asked on a trip, go ahead, do it. But if you, don't be foolish. If it's paid for, great. If you have the money, great. But if you don't, it's either be brave, and maybe you never know what can happen, right? Magical energy, connection with Venus, double Venus, rebalancing. Yeah, the later signs just wanted simplicity with this one, so I appreciate that. Surrender to your heart and to whatever ideas have been coming to mind. Surrender to trying new things. Maybe you go on a trip that also involves work. Maybe you go on a trip with someone really close to you, and it ignites something different in your day-to-day life that you enjoy. Okay? Sorry for the raspy. I've been drinking as much water as I can. I didn't plug this earlier, and I should have, but all information to work with me one-on-one is below. My website, schedule, payment options, Patreon, where this goes directly to your email every month. This is for your Taurus new moon, intuitive read for all signs. I'm Susan, you're intuitive. This is Venusian Wave. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.